Hi, this is John Byrne with Poets and Quants. We're back again with another Friday with Sandy's episode. We have a wannabe MBA candidate in India. Her name is Harini. She works for a political consulting firm, and her target schools are Rotman in Toronto, Michigan London Business School, Oxford, NUS, which is National University of Singapore, Harvard, and Cornell. Sandy, what do you think about this?
I'm very impressed with your story, your resume, your life, and meeting you for the last 5 minutes. The issue is, well, let's just start with this. We've got you with you got a first in your degree at
engineering.
Yeah, but industrial biotechnology.
Industrial biotech.
The name of the school is Sastra University?
Yeah.
Okay, is that a well-known school?
Yes, it is. It's one of the best schools for biotech in India.
Yeah. Do people from there go to business schools know about it?
I don't think so. They are more familiar with IITs, I guess.
Yeah. So you've got this non-IIT first, which is good. You've got a GMAT, you've got a GRE score, which translates by my mumbo jumbo into something approaching a 690, 700 GMAT. Does that square with your thinking?
Yeah.
Well, it's a 165 verbal, 162 quant.
Yeah. That's sort of like a 700.
Yeah.
Okay.
So we got a first.
And she has a master's degree in public policy from a German school.
Yeah, all that's impressive in general, but an admissions officer begins to scratch her head because it's like, what are you doing? So let me ask this right up front. What job do you want after you graduate business school?
I want to get into investment consulting. Like I see a lot of people.
What does that mean?
So I right now I'm leading this team called the Strategic Research and Insights.
Yeah, name a company and a title that you'd like after business school.
No, I would want to work for a big foundation, like say Bill and Gates, Melinda Gates Foundation, and I would like to help them invest their money in fruitful NGOs.
Should she say that, John?
Well, that's a hard job to get, the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation job. However, there are a lot of other foundations that are.
Yeah, but what role do you want to play there? This is real important.
I mean, one immediate concern would be, you may leave school with a good amount of debt, and you're going to get a job that doesn't pay a whole lot in a foundation.
Let's leave that aside. Good point, but let's just talk about what she should say. This is a real important question. Name the company and the title of a job you would be seeking after business school. So if you say the Gates Foundation, okay, I'm aware of them. What would your title be?
Consultant.
I don't know what that means. They hire consultants from McKinsey to help them do certain things.
Okay.
I don't know if they employ consultants.
Okay. So would it be beneficial for me?
Who's confused, me or you?
Me.
Both of us, yeah.
No, I'm confused for sure.
This is, well, I'm no expert on the way that the Gates Foundation works, or the Ford Foundation, or as John pointed out, a lot of foundations. But what you seem to want to have your cake and eat it, okay? You want to continue to work in a exciting, classy place like the Gates Foundation.
Okay.
Which is good, but my guess is, the MBA is working for the Gates Foundation. That's an interesting question, who they are. I'm not sure they're doing MBA. They may be doing program work. I'm not sure the MBA has anything to do with it. I don't know if they hire MBAs as entry-level people.
Okay.
So those are things you really got to find out before you apply and before you undergo an interview. This is critical.
Okay.
There's a lot of super interesting stuff in your story, but you really need to present a career roadmap with as much specificity as possible. Excuse me.
I mean, one of the things I think that's confusing is that you have an undergraduate degree in industrial biotechnology. Then you went off and you got a master's in public policy. Now you want an MBA. You've done 2 years with Teach for India and 2 years with a political consultancy. So the question is, there's no clear linear career path. So that's going to raise some issues.
Okay.
Yeah, look, you're a sharp character. You're going to be a player in the very exciting, very volatile, very dense Indian political scene. I have no doubt of that. Okay. So all that's great, except for this little project we're engaged with is figuring out why you want another graduate degree.
So right now, as I said, I'm heading the strategic research and insights team. When I'm trying to actually build a brand a party or like make sure that this leader is a particular face of the party, a lot of intricacies involved. And I
believe it, and you're great at it.
Yeah.
And
so
that's real. You're a political player. You're a player. I could see it. I could feel it. And you're a real smooth operator.
No, I just feel like an MBA would help me hone the skills that I have, like push me in a sense to develop a lot more stakeholder engagement skills, and also in terms of helping me think about the bigger picture. Like sometimes when you try to design a campaign for a particular person, you tend to get lost in the nitty-gritties, or even for the matter, you're trying to like forecast and indicate.
I understand what you're going to say,
Yeah.
what you're trying to say. Well done. Schools won't buy it.
Okay.
I don't think. I think that would be a bad approach to apply. I think what you have to say is, I think what you have to say is you want to be a consultant, period. You want to work for a strategic consulting firm and learn best practices, particularly consulting firms operating in India. I assume those are all of the, quite a few, the top, not only the top 3, the top 8. Okay. So then if I'm at your first choice, Rotman, or if I'm at Michigan Ross, I say, yeah, this woman could get that job. So we don't have an unemployed person hanging around here.
Okay.
Actually, and that raises another question, Sandy, which is helpful for everybody. How specific should you be with your career goals? She was very specific initially, which means that I think it narrows your chances of success.
You should be specific if you know what you're talking about, and if people with MBAs have that job and the schools get it.
Okay.
In your case, you should be specific. I would say I want to be a strategy consultant. Here's the way. This should be one part of your application.
Okay.
Whether in an essay or a required form. My goal is to be a strategy consultant for a leading firm, probably working in India. I want to learn best strategy practices, and then I want to be a consultant for 3 or 4 years, and then possibly work, for the government in a role like this and this, or something, or political consulting firm in a role like this and this. Then here comes the payday. I admire people like X and Y who have had careers similar to this.
Great.
Could you point to anybody like that? Like, who's a role model for you?
To be very honest, it's just my dad, no one else.
That's okay, but by a role model in terms of career, not in terms of being a spiritual guide.
Okay. I would say my company's director, Shashank Mehta, he just got himself into Wharton School of Business at a very young age of 22. He actually helped found the Indian Political Action Committee, and he's one of the key players over here.
He's going to Wharton?
Yeah.
What did he say his goals were? You can't go wrong. You can't. Now we're getting down to. You see, this is why it helps to be personal here. Well, ask him to read his application. I'd be curious myself. Do you know what he said?
I think he also wanted to, but I think he's more interested in investment banking rather than consulting. But yes, I would definitely get
What
his
was his
help.
background?
He's an engineer from IIT.
Good. And then what was his work history before he applied to Wharton?
He was a consultant in E&Y for 2 years.
Yeah.
Oh, E&Y. Yeah.
Yeah.
Ernst and Young, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, so that's a big four consulting firm. That guy's got a totally traditional background.
Yeah.
Okay. So it's no surprise that he went to IIT, he worked for a big four consulting company as a consultant, and then he wants to, I don't know if he said this, he wants to transition into banking. Business schools go, sure.
Okay.
Your job is much harder. You don't have a background like that.
Yes, I don't.
So
That's in the broader point, I think, Sandy, that we should underline is a lot of candidates who enter this journey think about their standardized test score, their GPA, their job, but they don't think about what their career goals are can actually shoot them, because the schools want happy graduates, and they want to know that they can give you an education that's going to allow you to accomplish your dream. And if your dream is too esoteric or too narrow, they're going to have doubts that they can make you a happy graduate.
You strike me as a mission-centric person. You want to make big changes. You want to help reform government. Okay, business schools acknowledge that, but they don't admit that. They admit it in both. They don't admit candidates who say that. Okay.
Okay.
So
even if she doesn't want to be a strategy consultant, she should say she wants to be a strategy consultant.
You should say it. And by the way, you know, the lie may come back to bite you in a good way. You may become a strategy consultant and say, boy, I'm glad I did that. That was great.
Yeah.
You should certainly, at some point in your life, you should pass through either as a summer intern, like your first year after business school, you should get a job at a strategy consultancy. They've just got a process and a presence that people like you should know about. The government of India, I'm sure, has many entanglements with strategy consulting.
Yes.
And I'm sure it's a back and forth, whatever they got, two-way street. So you should be open. You should say it's a two-way street. I want to be in government and strategy consulting, and the roadmap is strategy consulting after business school, and then possibly transition to government in areas like this, and this. That's what you've got to say.
Great.
So Sandy, her obvious reach school is Harvard. What are her odds at Harvard Business School?
You're not getting into Harvard. Sorry, they're not going to wink at a low for them, a low GMAT, a non-IIT school, and a work history that they would have a hard time digesting. The only way you're going to get into Harvard is if some powerful Indian politician wrote a letter or made a phone call. I'm not, if you have access to that, don't be shy.
Well, I do, but I wouldn't want to do that.
Well,
okay.
I'll leave that to you, but you should think about it. There's nothing
So
to
otherwise
be
it's like
of.
5-10%, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
How about Cornell? Cornell.
Cornell would be a good. Cornell, all of your schools, Michigan Ross, LBS, Cornell. I don't know so much about the international ones. John can talk about that. What you have to do is get lucky there. You've got to present yourself in the most powerful business-oriented way, and then you'll get lucky by someone on the ad board says, I like this woman a lot, and there's a lot to like. And we could use her to round out the situation here, okay? It's hard to predict where that's going to happen.
Okay.
Why it's not going to happen at Harvard is they're open to that kind of candidate. Quite frankly, they've got that kind of candidate with much stronger versions of that candidate.
Okay.
So those people are going to fill the lovable oddball cohort rather than you,
Okay.
if you know what I'm saying.
So Cornell, Michigan, what would you say the odds are? 20, 30, 25?
Yeah, 25%.
Okay.
So,
And then London Business School is another it's a tough one, actually.
I don't know those guys. John, what do you know?
It's a tough school. It's the admission requirements are quite high.
708 GMAT.
I'd say, and they have a lot of Indian candidates at LBS. So, I'd say probably 15, 20.
Yeah.
Okay.
Your best shot is Rotman and NUS, where I think the odds begin to fall in your favor.
Just based on
Acceptance rates and selectivity, yeah.
Right.
Okay.
I had a hard time finding Rotman. Do you know where they're ranked in U.S. News?
Somewhere in the 70s at the moment. I think.
Remember, U.S. News only ranks U.S. schools, so they're not ranked in U.S. News. They would be ranked in the Financial Times, The Economist.
Yeah.
Okay.
So they were somewhere around the 70s, if I'm not wrong.
Yeah. Okay. Well, that's good news and bad news. It's bad news for them. It's helpful news if you're trying to get in there and you're a special case. I also think you might like it there. It's international and.
It's a great school. Toronto's a terrific city.
Right.
The acceptance rate is high. It's like 50%. Okay, so I think.
Yeah. So your chances
get in
get
there.
better. Anyway, this is all side dish. The main dish, and I'm glad I said it first. You really have to present yourself as a conventional MBA candidate interested in strategic consulting. Look at I tell this to a lot of people. Look at the McKinsey website under public sector consulting. That's a division of McKinsey. I don't know what the McKinsey terminology for it is, but you'll find public sector, something like that.
Okay.
And you look at the kind of projects they're involved in. You should immerse yourself in those kind of projects and then say, I'm going to be and this, by the way, this is not going to be a reach, okay? They do very exciting stuff at very high level. And say, I'm excited about being a McKinsey consultant who does stuff like this, and this. You just got $1,000 worth of free advice there.
Yes, I did.
Everything else is malarkey.
All right. There you go.
I hope to see you. And yeah, send me a postcard from Rotman saying, I took your advice and here I am.
Of course.
Good luck to you. Good luck to you. Thank you for joining us on Friday with Sandy. Sandy, thanks again.
Okay, John.
And for all of you out there, thanks for watching. If you're interested in going toe-to-toe with Sandy on one of these episodes, just
send in. We're eager to talk, eager to help anybody.
Absolutely.
John, we're going to do a video soon about
round 2.
Well, that and HBS interviewing, which is.
Oh yeah, because that's going to kick off big time for round 2 people soon enough.
Middle of February, I think.
Yep. All right. Well, good luck to all of you out there on your MBA journey. Thanks for joining us. I'm John Byrne with Poets and Quants. Bye-bye.
Adios.